All right, we're back. Welcome back to Rarest Photos. Just a reminder, Ronnie McDowell has a show on the 8th Ottoman Drive in Memphis, Tennessee. Just go take a look at my conversation with Ronnie McDowell, and you'll see the links. You can buy tickets to the show if you want to be there in person with him. There's also a link there if you want to go ahead and do a virtual pay-per-view. It's $20 per household, which is a great deal to be able to go actually see the house that Elvis Presley spent a year and a half in, when he was coming up from being famous, and had 8 #1 hits there. If you happen to be in Memphis tomorrow, which is the 7th of January, the day before Elvis's birthday, he's going to be at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites over in Germantown, Tennessee, 5 o'clock to 7, free tickets for the meet and greet. Thank you to my subscribers. Y'all are wonderful. Thanks for the comments. So wonderful as well. I really enjoy reading them and getting to know you. I've got a conversation with Michael Peterson coming up this week, and also have our first subscriber video. Mel is going to come on, and we're going to get to know Mel. If you want to show up on the channel and do a little Zoom, it doesn't have to be an hour long. It can be 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, just to share your love of Elvis and your story. I would love to hear it, and I'm sure y'all would love to hear one of your fellow subscribers. Let's see here. So we finished, one second here. I know we did some stories. Elizabeth talked about Elvis on religion. Wes Daniels talked about Dion and the Belmonts. All right, fireworks and football. Okay, we'll go from there, okay? Fireworks and football. This is the Army Days with Elvis, Johnny Lang. It was a small town where older people would go with medical problems, especially heart problems. There were lots of doctors, so the hotel was full of people, and of course, they didn't care for us wrestling as we did. Then one night, I think it was the 4th of July, there was a bunch of people downstairs. Now, this is in Germany. They were throwing fireworks up. Elvis was on the 3rd floor. It was about $200 to $300 worth of fireworks, and that's about $2-3 grand these days. We crawled out onto the balcony like we were commandos. We were throwing fireworks down. Of course, the people in our hotel didn't like that, and so they tossed them out. Elvis rented a house where there was a big, gigantic field. The house was right on the edge of this big field, so we played football there every weekend. Rain, shine, mud, it didn't make any difference. It was like the Super Bowl. Now, I had a pass that I kept with me all the time, and I was allowed to go on and off post whenever I wanted because I was a photographer. So I went to Elvis's house every single night. It wasn't long afterwards that we got orders to go overseas. We boarded a train, went to the East Coast, got on the boat, and went over to Germany. I think the ship was the USS Randall. Elvis was on that ship. Not only was he on that ship, he performed. He actually did a show on the ship. I believe that might be Wes Daniels talking. Yeah, that was Wes Daniels. Mostly, while we were in Germany, we would all hang out at the bar. It was cool. Germany was a place where the two guys, Red and Lamar, lived with Elvis. Elvis went to bed and went to sleep every night at 9 p.m. So at 9 p.m., Red and Lamar were free. I would go pick them up and we would head down to the bar and hang out there for the night. Other times, Elvis would stay a little later. He'd stay up a little later, Wes says. I'd get to the bar early, and Elvis would play his guitar and start singing this and that and other things, and we would just kind of hang out. I recall when I first heard about Elvis's love of gospel music. When I went to his home, he comes down and plays the guitar and sings. He never sang one of those songs that he recorded, only sang gospel music. And he played pleasure piano. Mahalia Jackson and all the gospel music was his favorite. I would switch from the doo-wop to gospel, so we would do the background and sing gospel music all night long. So Wes was a singer there. Oh, yeah, that's true. He was part of the Dion and the Belmonts group before they made it big. Nightlife in Frankfurt. Now, when we got to Germany, we didn't really go out a lot to the movies or to the show. We basically stayed in Elvis's house every night. Every night, Elvis stayed in, except for a place in Frankfurt, Germany. An American man had married a German woman, and they all bought a bar. They would allow Elvis to go upstairs to the balcony. They wouldn't let anybody else up there. Then we'd come and we'd go up the steps and hang out on the balcony. There was a piano player there and a show. That's where we went every once in a while. Then one time we went to Holiday on Ice. Elvis was a spur-of-the-moment kind of guy. We would be sitting there doing nothing. Then someone would say, let's go to Holiday on Ice, or let's go to the ball. Then he'd get up and go. That's just the way he was. So we used to go to that bar, and he would call up, tell them that we were coming, and they would clear the whole balcony out. Then we would go up the back steps and hang out. See, Elvis didn't drink. He just drank Pepsi. That's all he drank. Football. Holy CPAP. Holy C-R-A-P. Johnny Lang used to come on the weekend, and we played football. But it wasn't just playing football. It was like a big game. So if it was raining, you couldn't tell Elvis that it's raining and we're not going to play, because we played anyways. I remember one day we were getting ready to go up to that field to play the game. I think it was on a Sunday. A sheep herder had come through, and there were about 500 head of sheep that went through the field that day, and they were just passing by. So naturally, when all the sheep got out on that field, you know what it was like in that field? Sheep doo-doo. We said, oh my God, look at this. They pooped all over the place. Elvis said, no, we're playing anyways. So we played in that crap all day long until we finished the game. We had sheep poop all over us, but we still played anyways. That's the way Elvis was. We had so many people who used to come to that game that the crowds got really, really big because they were all looking to see Elvis play. Now, at the end of the game, we would have to huddle up on the side nearest his house on the field. And then Elvis would count up to 3, and we'd make a mad dash for it with 200 people running behind him, and it was crazy. Elvis was a die-hard player. In fact, he wasn't a bad football player. Of course, Elvis was the quarterback, and Rex was usually on the side of red, and Johnny Lang, ran the ball. Photo memories or not, I took pictures in the Army, but later I sold all the pictures I had to Joe Esposito, and we know who got all those pictures, right? Priscilla Presley. Joe had somebody contact me a few years ago, and I forwarded all the pictures that I had. I sold the originals, and I don't have any copies. I have nothing. Believe me, they cleaned me out. The only picture I have of me and Elvis is in a magazine from when we were at the Ice Capades. We're all sitting in a row, and we went to the Ice Capades, or the Holiday on Ice, actually, he said. So when I went up to the counter to buy the tickets for the Ice Capades, the guy said, it's sold out. And I said, all right, I'll tell Elvis that it's sold out. Oh, Elvis? That's funny. I feel like Johnny said it was him that went up there, and Wes Daniels said it was him. I don't know. We'll have to ask Johnny about that. I'm almost positive this is Johnny. No, it's definitely Wes. This is still Wes talking. We sat in that row where we saw most of the show from, and they all came out. They wanted us to come backstage and meet the cast of the show, so we all went backstage. And we had a party with the cast. It was their last night, so we had a party with the world's best skaters, and it was great. It was really great. I got out of the Army and left before Elvis did. My time was up ahead of his, so I left Germany and came back by boat. When we came back to the States, we did not keep in contact with one another, and we never did meet back up. When I got home, I had some problems in my family, so I had to stay close to home. I was supposed to go down to Memphis. Elvis told me to come down and see him, but I never went. So that's, well, there's still some more. We might have one more reading on this book. But I wanted to get it in. Johnny Lang, My Army Days with Elvis. Find it on Amazon. I think the only one that has it that are brand new is Johnny. So if you buy it, Johnny gets some residuals from it, or I believe his son helped him write this book. To Joe, best always, God bless, Johnny Lang. It was dedicated to his daughter Nicole, and acknowledgments there is great. Got Keith and Jenny Paola. Keith is the one that turned me on to this book, and Johnny Lang as well. So yeah, Jeff Lang helped Johnny put this book together, Johnny's son. So that's a very nice thing to have a son that's going to love you that much to do it. So we all appreciate it too, Jeff, okay? TCB, TLC, this is Rare Elvis Photos. Till next time.